election, because we know what's going on down there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And again, it's about democracy here, folks, and we're trying to. It's not about point of view. It's about process, and we have to defend that process.
You've had a lot of business management experience.
That's right. I consider myself.
What's important is, not necessarily in politics, but you've had to run a business.
That's correct.
Which means it's running a municipality, from the mayor's standpoint, isn't much different than running a full-scale business.
That's right.
Except
we're
you got more critics always keeping in the firing line.
Yeah, well, it is true that in the entertainment business and in the media business, things are a little more autocratic. But certainly the people skills, and that's my interpretation of the biz, the people skills are the values. And you have to communicate, you have to motivate, and we have an excellent municipal staff in Marmora. Most of these small towns have excellent professionals, from the fire chief on down. And what we're interested in, and what I'm interested in, is an opportunity to get involved in the future of this community.
Is Disney one of your mentors?
Say again?
Is Walt Disney one of your mentors?
Well, I certainly have a lot of respect for Walt, especially his early career.
Well, I kind of follow an awful lot of what Disney attempted. Like, he cleared the swamp of alligators.
Exactly.
And went in there and done the impossible.
That's right. And people, especially with Disney World, when after he had the success with Disneyland, but people are like, why are you buying all that land up in Florida? It's used, and what are you doing? And he didn't waste a lot of time trying to explain to people what he was doing. He didn't waste a lot of time waiting for people to agree with him. He knew what he wanted. He was a man of vision.
Well, that's great. That's very, very important. I'm sure with your past business experience, you went into the Marmora area with a vision of, here's a beautiful little town that needs a hand up.
Exactly. Well, I certainly feel that we're underperforming. I certainly feel that there's room for improvement. I can visualize immediately, if not cosmetic, physical changes that could be made, for example, to the four corners. And certainly the strengths can be emphasized. The strengths and Marmora Lake Township is a beautiful place. The environmental stewardship is so important. The sportsmen, hunters, skidooers, cross-country skiers, the people that enjoy the environment there year-round, it really, like I've been in the Rockies, I've been in a lot of, the Laurentians, I've visited a lot of natural places, and this seemed to be a beautiful place for us to call our home, and we really enjoyed the people.
Well, the old mine site there, right in Marmora, is the iron mine there.
That's right. The Marmerton mine.
Marmerton mine.
The big hole.
The big hole. I don't know how close to that place you've been as far as actually looking at it.
Oh, sure.
It's pretty deep.
I've actually
and it's really nice water in there.
Before they ramped up security years and years ago, I explored. I have some mountaineering experience, so I was able to climb around on the rock, and it's a fascinating place, and it's a good example of a business coming to a community and extracting a natural resource. Now, in the late 40s, when Bethlehem Steel came to Ontario, it was a different culture, it was a different time, it was a different attitude about the environment. But actually, people have a wonderful affection for that mine pit.
Oh, of course it is.
And that's very interesting.
Some clown a long time ago talked about taking a trainloads of garbage from Toronto and dumping in that mine.
That's right.
Like I said, Christine Stewart was our member of Parliament then for.
And
I sat in this very studio with her. I said the train won't make it east to Peterborough. She said, "What do you mean?" I said,
that's one of the great victories."
I said, "Do you think you can get that train east to Peterborough?" I said, "The people out here in the country
will block the tracks."
Well, we had bigger plans than that.
Yeah, okay.
But
there's a movie.
There's too many. There's too many trestles east of Peterborough for that train to try and
You
get
got
across.
it. You got it. And that's a great victory. That's I don't know if our listeners really understand the background. At one time, there was proposed that City of Toronto garbage be trucked up to Marmora and fill that hole up. And you could just, I don't really understand the concept.
I would have probably sacrificed my life to stand on the train track instead of letting that train go by. Yeah, I was that adamant about it. It was just the stupidest idea I'd ever heard. You know. And
that's why we need stewardship. And we're so lucky that we have the Conservation Authority.
Yep, that's right.
We're so lucky that we have the Ministry of the Environment. We have the Ministry of Natural Resources. In other Western countries, they don't have this kind of protection, and things are being stripped away, and things are being sacrificed for commerce and profit.
So where do you see Marmora actually going? You got some new ideas of me. Where do you see them going?
What's exciting about Marmora is in 2021, we're celebrating our bicentennial.
Wow. 200
years. And this is going to be a wonderful opportunity to showcase the community. And I would like to hope we'll stage a homecoming with guests of honor. We're talking possibly the royal family, if not the Governor General and the Lieutenant General, and certainly the Prime Minister and the Premier, but also a homecoming for everyone that's ever lived in Marmora or who was born and raised in Marmora, or has waited for an opportunity to come back and reconnect. And that, I hope, will be the staging for the 2020s.
You know the park there at the waterfront, right? Just right in Marmora. That's a class. That's really a class thing.
It is. So and we're very lucky that over the years that park wasn't developed commercially, both sides. And it's a wonderful, that whole area, that whole waterfront there behind the tourism center.
Now I'm going to give you a pizza place over there, a plug. You get a little pizza place over
on Main Street.
Right on Main Street, the little Chinese family there.
Yes.
Best pizza in Ontario.
They do a wonderful job.
We go all the way over there to get our pizza.
Sorry?
We go all the way over to them want a pizza.
Well, what we do is plan ahead.
Yeah. What have they done with the other hotel there?
Well, I'm not really familiar with. I know that it was many efforts have been made. I wasn't around when the hotel was in business.
Well,
I've heard the stories.
Well, there's still a lot of heads to pull out of the walls over there.
Exactly.
Pretty exciting place sometimes.
It's a funny thing
when the miners got paid.
Yes, the fights and the things that would roll out of and all these towns had these bars.
Oh,
of course. Madoc's lost theirs to a fire. I would say Tweed is one of the last towns.
Yeah, the old Tweed were still
it's still there.
It's still a place to go and have a brawl.
But as a boy, you remember these old taverns, and it's sad that they're gone. The building's there. The building has residents. There are businesses in the building. The revitalization or the Marmora's so lucky because it has a main street right there on the 7.
Yeah.
And I believe it's underutilized and could be developed.
Tom Cassidy used to run the funeral home there years ago. Mm-hmm. He also had an appliance store.
Mm-hmm. There were many businesses.
I was in Toronto, but I moved to Peterborough when I first left the farm. I moved to Peterborough, and I used to come down and service TVs up at the mine. Mm-hmm. And I go once a week. I come into Tom Cassidy's place. I go up to the mines and service the TVs up there.
Right.
Yeah. That was an interesting thought.
And the the idea is when the 115 Highway 115 the 115 finally they finished the interchange with the 407. I predict we're going to see a seismic shift in what's going to be going on with the number 7.
But that 407 is going to still be a toll road, isn't it?
Oh, yes, but I think people are going to move up here so they can go back and forth a lot easier.
The dang fools left the railway in. It would have been a nice commute from Marmora to Toronto and back.
Sure, yeah. And up to the 80s out of Havelock, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, the Dayliner.
Yeah, I know.
Many people still talk about the Dayliner, and there's no reason why the GO train couldn't go right to there, because that's the railhead.
It is.
And that will happen.
Well, they took the line out.
May not happen in my day.
Between Marmora and Smith Falls.
That's right.
Or Madoc. Havelock and Smith Falls.
Yeah.
It was just stupid to take it out.
Well, I think the rail line still goes to Smith Falls, doesn't it?
Well, but
no, maybe they bring it down by truck now.
There's nothing between Havelock and Smith Falls.
Right, they can bring it down by truck, and then the rail cars take it down.
Yeah.
But I mean, I believe that it's only natural if we look into the future. Let's pretend we have a time machine here, and we're looking into the future. We're talking about the 2020s, and we're talking about the future of these small communities. And I think what's going to happen is Canadians are going to start to reinvest in country environments and rural communities because of the quality of life. As it stands now, when Canadians are surveyed, the happiest Canadians live in small communities.
Well,
they don't live in Toronto.
Well, we don't have as many gunfights.
Yeah, we have knife fights. But the thing is that there are criminal problems. There's problems with the legal system. There's challenges. That's a society issue. But what I'm talking about, what's neat about where we live, is that we're halfway between Toronto and Ottawa, directly. And that number 7 corridor in the future is going to be developed to the point where it's going to be very, very busy because the 407 will become maxed out.
Yeah.
And whether it's a high-speed rail link, whether it's bus service, probably driverless, but the reality of it is that what I get to think about is what can we promote for where we are on the highway, and what can we promote? Restaurants. Do we need charger stations for the electric cars? Do we need hotels? I'd love to see a steakhouse, but that's my preference.
Yeah, I know. Well, there used to be some good places to eat in Marmora.
Yeah.
As there was sort of.
Well, certainly a new restaurant recently opened. Two restaurants did recently open. Somebody did open a restaurant up on the highway, a chicken rotisserie place, and it's doing very well. Another restaurant opened downtown in the old hotel, and it's struggling.
Yeah.
But these entrepreneurs need to be supported. They need to be helped. That's another interesting thing about the community. The ranchers, the tourism operators, the outfitters, the farmers. All the energy of entrepreneurship is the future. Okay.
Yeah. Are they allowing tours of the old mine, the lower mine?
No.
How about
it's totally fenced in.
How about the iron mine there?
Say again?
The other mine right in Marmora.
There's an observation platform that's always been there. It's very easy to go up. We recently were involved in creating a series of videos that are available digitally, where the town has a tour called the Miners Loop.
Oh,
and there's 5 stations in the Miners Loop that surround the village.
Oh, good.
And you go from station to station, and physically right in front of you, geology you can look at the geology, and there's an interpretive side. So what we did is we created 5-minute, 3-minute videos for each station, where people scan a Q code with their smartphone, and they watch a little video, and that explains the significance of the geological heritage. Marmora being the first, it was the seat of hard rock mining in Upper Canada. This is where it started, and it was so important to the early industrial development of what is Upper Canada.
There wouldn't hardly been any big structures or rail lines in this country if it hadn't been for some of the iron that was coming out of the steel was coming out.
That's correct. The iron that came out of the Marmerton mine
was incredible.
Built Manhattan.
Probably.
It did.
We're not giving Bush any of that.
Beltham Steel, it was the best iron, and it's like our timber. It's like our hydro resources. Our American cousins to the south came up here. Now after the war there was quite an extensive geological survey done. The federal government There's aerial surveys and seismic surveys. So a lot of resources were revealed. There's also the legends of the early Europeans, and when they would counter the First Nations people, they would say they were shown gold mines and silver mines and great oak croppings of marble, and of course, Marmora received its name, Marmora.
Okay, in your vision now, I'm impressed that you're young enough.
Back to the future.
You're young enough that we don't have to have somebody 80 or 90 years old as Mayor of Marmora. So you're getting it in at the ground level. And so people, if they put you in as the mayor, they got somebody who's young enough to have some foresight of what's going on, rather than just say we're going to bring stagecoaches in there and get rid of the cars.
That's correct.
It's okay to bring a stagecoach in for fun.
That's correct.
But I see the idea of having somebody more youthful as the mayor of Marmora is a change of what a lot of small towns have done. A lot of small towns have had people that were really, really old, and they didn't think very much about what's the younger generation going to do. So I think you've probably got a handle on that.
Well, that's true. And what's fascinating about these small communities is several generations ago, the lifestyle in these communities would have been very straightforward because everybody was the same. There were a few, Now, what's fascinating with these small communities, they're like an urban environment where you have people that are different. You have wealthy and you have marginalized. You have seniors and you have the young people.
Yeah.
You have people that are doing very well professionally and with employment, and you have people that are struggling with employment. You have people of different faiths. You have people that have different health challenges. And that's our world today. And we have to embrace all these differences, and we have to find a singular vision, and people need to be motivated. And that's my philosophy.
With online marketing the way it is, and putting a computer on your desk, you can market Marmora to the entire world from your desk.
That's right.
And have you got an industrial area there that's designated as industrial?
Well, sorry,
No, have you have a designated industrial area there where somebody come in and want to put a small manufacturing plant in?
Well, certainly light industry. The challenges with this community is we need a bank. We recently lost our bank.
Yes, they should be ashamed of that themselves.
And that's something that I would take very seriously. I've been told that it's been exhausted, but first of all, people have made it clear that they physically want a bank. Canada Post Office banking services, that can be investigated. We don't want to lose our post office. We don't want to lose our liquor store. And certainly, light industry. There's no reason I see light industry coming to other communities. Light industry and employment-based activity where people are employed, and because that's what people want. They want a nice place to live, and they don't want to have to drive 2.5 hours to their job. And that's what people are dealing with in these communities right now. They have to drive often to a low-paying job in the larger centers. So we need to get.
If it's just going to be a bedroom community, you need the trains are there.
Yes.
But if it's going to be an industrial area where light industry, like Beck Bindery down here,
yes,
they used to be in East York, and 12 years ago.
Good example.
They moved down here and they've never looked back.
Good example. And you see things going to Quinte area. Certainly down on the 401, it's very attractive. But this number 7 corridor is the same thing. And if we were promoting that and competing and creating initiatives, but on the same context, what's happening with the economy is people that a generation ago would have had a salary job or a union job. They're now entrepreneurs. They're now small business owners. They're now people that have said, well, I don't have a job. I'm going to create a business. It may be just me and my wife. Those people need to be supported. And a small town can support.
It's got to be affordable.
You mentioned the pizzeria?
Yeah.
Classic example.
There's classic example.
Classic example where these people need to be supported.
And you got to watch your commercial tax base.
Yes.
You can't. You just can't. They're paying $2,000 or $3,000 a month overhead for their store, and if you start taxing them, unrealistically,
That's right.
They won't be able to even open the door.
And there's lots of ways laterally a town can support an entrepreneur or anyone that's trying to bring a business to your community and offer services. Because that's really what residents want. Someone said to me the other day, you can't buy a pair of socks in Marmora. Because there's no retail.
That's because of people like Walmart and Costco.
Well, there's retail there's retail in Madoc, and there's retail in Havelock. But the thing is that I often have wondered why. I thought a perfect business for the town would be a pet food store. Everyone's got dogs and cats. Everybody does.
Well, do you still have a grain like a co-op service there, like for something?
In Madoc.
In Madoc, you don't have it there.
No. Madoc has
so
that.
if you wanted to put one industry in there, a light industry, what kind of an industry would you think would fit that community?
Ecotourism. Ecotourism is so. I mean, the potential in Marmora Lake for ecotourism is as great. It's like a provincial park, and if operators could be encouraged, like down in Prince Edward County and other places.
You do like Prince Edward County, the place to be all wineries.
Yeah, but ecotourism. Like I said, light manufacturing. There's various projects that are being discussed. Solar. That Marmerton mine has the tailings piles.
Oh gosh,
wind towers, solar up there. No one would know they're even there, right?
Yeah, sure.
Certainly more restaurants, more things for people coming through, more things for the cottagers. I'd love to see a movie theater.
And today's technology with the digital projectors putting in movie theater is not like it used to be.
That's right.
You know that. Like
a brew pub, a classic little heritage brew pub. I'd love to approach one of our local breweries, Signal Brewery or Church Cree, to talk about a commemorative beer for the bicentennial.
I think the guy up at Church Cree would probably welcome that.
Yeah.
He's a very creative person.
Yes. Good example. Good example of a local business supported and has thrived. I mean, we all
I
love
guess all
Church
the blueberries out that way are pretty well gone now. We used to go out that way, between Marmora and Madoc.
There's wild blueberries everywhere, and raspberries, right, Laura? There's quite an active in the spring. A lot of people harvest what is it they harvest?
Wild
leeks, and
fiddleheads.
Fiddleheads, and the fishing, the hunting in the fall.
Well, that should be part of your promotional video.
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't done a promotional video. Social media has been very, very important in this election.
It is, yeah.
We have 12 candidates running for 5 positions. I think that's excellent.
That's a lot.
That's good. Because people want an election. No one wants to see people get in by acclamation. People want a choice, and it's nice to see a full playing field. And some are more active on social media than others. Some don't bother with it at all.
Your agricultural base there, there's an awful lot of rock that way, so I don't suppose growing wheat and stuff like that is a big thing around that area.
Well, there is a lot of craft farming. One of the people talk, why do you live where you live? My friends from Toronto, and I says, one of the great things about living up here is the farm to the table thing.
Yeah, that's great. I love that.
Even shopping here at Sharps, you're seeing things.
You're seeing things when they unhooked from the IGA people and all that,
yeah,
and went independent. It gave them the opportunity to send their truck out right to the farmer and say, I'll buy that field of tomatoes.
Yeah,
and that was a really good move.
Yeah, and we can drive around, and there's little jam stands, and the people across the street sell eggs, and that's what I mean about quality of life, and that contributes. Now I'm older. I have to admit my clubbing days are over.
Compared to me, you're a kid.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I wanted to mention something else about our seniors, because one of the things that's fascinating about these municipal politics, I was saying earlier how generations ago was a simpler thing. No less important and no less difficult. But now with these differences and changes, our seniors, what I find now is the people are different and they're isolated from each other. And we need to bring people together. We need to appreciate and value our seniors and what their knowledge, their stories, their influence, their warmth, their generosity. We need to involve young people. We need to bring their dynamism and their optimism and their special needs and their unique vision, which may not agree with everything we see, but we need to involve young people. We need to involve young people in this process. We're very lucky as a community because we have a very strong Lions Club. We have strong service organizations. They need to be supported. Things like the Royal Canadian Legion, initiatives that are making these groups attractive to younger people, and also people that we want people to move there who are interested in something different, and the people that do come visit there, they realize it's not what they thought it was, and they're surprised to see how pleasant it is.
Talking about success, it's the classic car show there. That brings a lot of people into Marmora. You close the whole main street off.
Yes.
That classic car show.
There's a good example of a club.
There's a example of a club that brings people to town for.
Yeah, the number 7 Classic Cruisers, they were very supportive when we did our War Memorial dedication.
And now what you need to do is have an annual street dance, or maybe a street dance every
I love street dances.
The old-fashioned street dances, the hoedowns,
And
lots of
the curling club, our curling club, the first Friday of every month they have an open mic, and at the curling club lounge, and it's just overwhelming the talent.
Oh, it's tons.
And some really good singers and performers, and we're I think a teen dance, for example,
could help,
teen dance, a classic teen dance like we had when we were kids, even if it was just records. These are the things I'd like to see. I'd like to see social events which bring people together, and
the old hoedowns used to be the thing that brought people out.
Barn dances.
We had a farm up near Garden Hill, Campbellcroft area.
Yeah.
In the little hall at Campbellcroft. This is before liquor and all that stuff was going on. The only liquor you had there was a bootlegger out back. But they filled the hall. They actually filled it. So okay. Now do your rap here and give the people the reason why you're the best choice from here.
Okay, very quickly. First of all, I'm a people person. I'm approachable. I'm a good communicator. More importantly, I'm a strong listener, and I'm able to absorb what people are interested in and enable that and put that into a visualization that in turn can be implemented into a task-driven exercise. And we need to motivate people. We need to inspire confidence. I believe that as mayor, I would make it my tireless duty to make sure every member of that community has confidence in what goes on in those council chambers.
One of the things a mayor really has to do is be at the table when somebody comes in, if they're annoyed about something, they shouldn't be ashamed to ask you the question. And if you haven't got the answer, you got to be able to get back in a reasonable amount of time and say, I know it's over budget or under budget or we got to do this with the water tank, whatever. But the important thing is to listen and respond.
That's right.
If you listen but you don't respond, people get really annoyed.
And they are annoyed. I hear that when I'm talking to people. I hear people are looking for answers. They want a dialogue. They don't want closed door council meetings. They want to feel that they've been consulted.
Well, if you're not doing something that's underhanded, what's wrong with having the public at your council meeting to sit there and hear?
Nothing.
That's what's always bothered me about council meetings. Okay, we're going to closed session now. You people have got to leave. Well, just a minute here. We're going to talk about that you're ashamed of.
That's right.
Because I think we have to be transparent, especially in this day and age. You can't mess around because sooner or later they catch you with your hand in the cookie jar.
I hear the term self-serving a lot.
Yes.
And what's interesting to me about public service is governance. And setting a tradition of governance, that would be a nice legacy, because I believe the future, the other levels of government, if anything, we're going to enter, if the world stays stable and we continue to develop and evolve as a society, I honestly believe that the federal and provincial government will have less to do and the municipalities will become more self-governing. But that requires a tradition of governance. And you have to actually say, you have to say, this is a value. This is a value. This isn't something that we take for granted. And that inspires confidence. That leads to trust. And in turn, through motivating people, a sense of pride. And that in turn gives people a quality of life.
It's been great working with you today. And
nice to see you.
I'd like to see you come back again sometime.
Thank you. I'd love that.
And share some of your movie experience with me.
I just want to say we love CKOL. I encourage people to support our local broadcasters. It's very important to understand what an incredible accomplishment it is for these folks to run this radio station in this day and age, independently and without influence.
I had an opportunity for a buyout from Chorus a few years ago. When the guy was really shocked, I said, "You don't have enough money."
Exactly.
And the guy said, "Pardon me?" I said, "It's not for sale."
Yeah.
Well, he said, "Everything's got a price tag." Well, I said, "Here's how you can do it." He said, "What's that?" "You write me a check, send it to my lawyer, and if it impresses me, I'll cash it. And if it doesn't, I'll send it back to you." And he said, what do you want on it?" I said, "Not what it's worth to me. It's what it's worth to you."
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's no sense in saying I'll take $100,000 for it. The guy's willing to give you $10 million.
Exactly.
I mean, that'd be ridiculous. You know they got the bucks.
And that's why you're in business.
Well, I was a rough and tumble guy for years. Yeah. I ran my own business.
Your clubbing days are behind you too, right?
I ran my own business in Toronto for 35 years, an electronics business.
Right.
But my basic bringing up was...
So you saw everything change, right?
My basic bringing up was on the farm.
Right.
You didn't get your breakfast till the animals got fed.
There you go.
And I thank my dad for that. Because his idea was, if you don't earn it, you don't get it.
Yeah, and we're going in that direction again on one level. People have to be more self-reliant.
You have to. And this lights go out, what are you going to do?
That's
you can't go back and using coal lamps and candles.
No.
We have solar on the roof here for our standby.
Yes.
And we have 3 generators.
Yes.
From my experience with candles and lanterns, that's why why you burned a lot of houses down in the younger days.
Yes, that's right.
Anyway, Jim, come on back again.
You betcha.
And I'd like maybe we'll talk about movies next time.
Yeah, you betcha.